All right. Woo! It's Sunday. I made it. First of all, if this is your first time watching my vlog, welcome. This is a vlog where I'm basically chronicling my journey to get back in shape. Okay, I got out of shape basically for two reasons. One, because I had a bad car accident at the height of COVID, and I went 2 years where I wasn't able to really train, and then just built up some bad habits. Also, I was trying to, like every other home gym brand, I was trying to build my brand, build the business, and kind of sounds crazy to say it, but I got so lost in doing stuff about fitness that I kind of let my own personal fitness slide. But we're back on the wagon, and that's what the purpose of this vlog is, to let you guys be with me every step of the way to reclaiming my life. But you know, sometimes when you're on these journeys, you have roadblocks, stumbling blocks, right? And I hit one last week. So let's give you guys, let's run down some stuff here. Doing some cardio. Told you guys last week that I like doing long cardio sessions on Saturday and Sunday where possible. Wasn't able to do it yesterday, which is Saturday, but I did get it in today. So let me just tell you how the week went. So first of all, I weighed in at 229 last Monday. So that's cool. That means I didn't lose any ground. I was 230 the week before, and I've been holding at 230, and I weighed in at 229 last Monday. So I got to weigh in tomorrow. So goal is to weigh 228 or less. Well, I don't know if that's gonna happen. So let's just tell you what's happened. So I was diagnosed with COVID not this past Friday, so not 2 days ago, but last week. I was diagnosed with COVID, and I go into a lot of it in the last video. Then, you know, it's like, well, what do? You don't just roll over and die, you fight back. So once I got the diagnosis, I let my family know, and shout out to them because they came in clutch for me. My wife got my prescription, my mom got me a bunch of supplements to boost my immune system, vitamin C, vitamin D3, NAC. And none of this is medical advice. I'm just telling you what I did. But then my son, who's a pharmacy tech, texted me, and he was like, you know, in 2020, he was actually a nurse working on the COVID wing. And so he's seen a lot of COVID patients while, you know, our medical personnel, our medical industry or whatever, they were trying to figure out how to fight COVID. And he was on the front lines every day. And he texted me, he's like, Dad, you may not feel like moving. And to be honest with you, Thursday and Friday, I felt miserable. I didn't feel like doing anything, but he's like, you need to keep moving even when you don't feel like it. He said, because COVID thrives when you're stagnant. You need to keep your metabolism high so that you can create a hostile environment for the COVID virus, basically. So I did some steam, and I emphasized cardio, even though it wasn't always fun, you know? And I mean aggressive cardio, not just walking, but running as many days as I was able to do it, I'd run. Not crazy running speeds, but just jogging essentially. Even though it felt like I was breathing soup, I got it in. So that took me through Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, I was like, it's the week I'm supposed to kind of test my, work up to singles to see, and if I hit my numbers, then that means I could move my training maxes up. So I worked up to 316 and a half in the bench. But what I did, because I knew my endurance wasn't where it's supposed to be is I really just did my main lift, and I would do cardio, my main lift, some mobility work, done. You know what I mean? So I worked up to 316.5 in the bench. Now, to be fair, I planned, 316.5 isn't anywhere close to my max. And so on a good day, when I'm not fighting COVID, I can do 315. I've never actually done 316.5 before, but I know I could do 315 for a double, maybe a triple, right? But that wasn't the plan. The plan was 316.5 for one. Well, I did it. Well, let me just show you what happened. So y'all notice, maybe you didn't, but if you did, good on you. I rolled these back up and put them back in the box between sets. Reason why I do that is because that's what I plan to do at a meet. So it's part of a ritual. So when you go to a meet, there's so many things that are unfamiliar. There's a lot going on that's out of your control. So what you want to do is anchor yourself by having as many rituals so that you're calm under pressure. You want to have as many rituals that make it seem familiar to you as possible. One of those is going to be, I put my wrist wraps on at exactly the same amount of time before I get on the bench, before I start the lift every time, right? So when I'm not wearing them, they're in the box, and I just go through the same thing. Also, they won't get lost that way. So again, nice and tight, tight as possible. I am thinking about getting, these are the 30 inches. I think I might get into 36s, which would give me another couple wraps around, give me that much more support. Thinking about it. Probably gonna do it. Let's go. That's a problem for future John. Today, John, it's gonna bench 316.5. Goal is 1. Let's go. Got greedy. I hate doing that. I knew with the lockout, I should have just left it, but because I wasn't committed to doing 2, I let some of my air go. Lost tension and said, well, let's try to do it anyway. What happens when you do that is you lose a little bit, when you lose that tension, you also lose some of your arch, which means the bar's traveling a longer distance. So, just wasn't ready for it, especially not with all the other stuff going on after running a mile. That's what I get for listening to y'all. I told you I was only gonna do 1. I let you talk me into going for 2. See if I listen to you again. Okay, so as you can see, I went off plan and I paid for it. But it's all right, because I got the single, which is what mattered. Which means I can, I'm still on program. I'm still on track, even though I was fighting COVID. So then Tuesday, I finished my last round of the medication Tuesday morning, went to the doctor and retested, got a clean bill of health. They said, you're negative for COVID. Awesome, praise you Jesus, I am healed. By his stripes, I was healed on Calvary. So now it's just a matter of getting my conditioning back and kind of like getting back, in the swing of things. So One of the things that I learned from a book called Brawn by Stuart McRobert, I believe it's still in print, get on Amazon, is basically when you come back from being sick, you shouldn't go full speed. So normally when I have a week where I'm testing, doing singles, I won't just go up to, like with the 316.5, under normal circumstances, I would have gone under that, done a single, maybe gone to 325, done another single, you know, something, and then maybe moved up again if I still felt good. Well, on Tuesday, after I got the clean bill of health, I just did some easy cardio and some stretching. And then Wednesday, more cardio, and it was time to squat. But I learned from Monday's failure. So here is how my last set of squats went on Wednesday. So I just finished my last warm-up set of squats. And what I got scheduled right now is a set of just 385 for a single. Now, after that, I've got walkouts. So a walkout is basically you unrack the bar, walk out, but you don't squat, okay? The purpose of that is to just acclimate yourself to a weight that you intend to squat at some point, right? So I wouldn't ever load it to something, I wouldn't like load it to 700 pounds, right? Because I don't have any plans on attempting 700 pounds within the next 3 years. So you load it to something that you intend to squat. So we're at the point in my training where even if I wasn't coming off of COVID, got a clean bill of health, by the way, went to the doctor today, and test came back completely negative. So praise you, Lord Jesus, by your stripes I was healed. But anyway, even if I wasn't coming off of that, I told you, I follow the Stuart McRobert protocol. When you're coming off of illness, you don't just go straight into like the heaviest thing you could possibly do and kill yourself. No, you ramp into it. But even if I wasn't doing that, the point of this part of my training isn't to tax my nervous system too much. The point is to increase my level of ordinary strength. What I call, my brother and I call it walking around strength. Just what I could do on a regular, right? For example, 500 pounds in the deadlift is ordinary strength for me. I don't have to like do special things. I can normally work up to 500 pounds pretty easily, right? So 385 for a single, it may not be easy, but I shouldn't have to do extraordinary things to do it, right? If that feels, if I do it's 385 for a single. If I do that and I even think I can do it for a double, I'm not gonna do a double because of what happened when I was benching, where I was hesitating. Do I do a double? Do I go for just a single? The single felt easy, but I wasn't, after I went up in my mind, I'm just doing a single, but then it was, so I relaxed. And I was like, let's just go for a double while I lost my position. I'm not gonna ride that line today. Instead, what I'm gonna do, 385, and if I stand up and it feels like I could probably do a double, I'm gonna rack the weight, put 405 on and do a single there. Rest and do a single there. If I don't feel like I could do a double, I'm gonna rack the weight and do my walkouts. Load the bar for my walkouts and do the walkouts. Also, if I do the 405, if I do go up to 405 as a joker set for another single, I'm gonna subtract one set from the walkouts because the idea is to not tax my nervous system too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me move this over here, just so it's easier for you guys for the camera to follow me. I'm gonna go ahead and load the weight to 385. What I have on there right now is 344 and a half. So slide these off. I used the lockjaw collars today. And again, I use my micro gains plates. So this is 1 1/4, the 2 1/2, and the 10. All right, so So this is 315. This is a 35-pound plate. Since I'm not one of those people who for some reason hate 35-pound plates, I've got some. So I just throw these on here that make 70 pounds. Bam, 385. I don't understand people that say they don't like 35-pound plates. Because those same people have no problem with a 15-kilo plate. The yellow, I don't, okay. Whatever. So, anyway, shit, weight off. I've been resting 3 minutes between sets, which is just long enough to be well rested, but not so long that I end up like your body stops remembering that it's working out. Like you're not I think the word I'm looking for is attenuate. Like basically you're primed. But if you relax for too long, it's almost like you're starting over and the weight feels heavy again. So I don't want to rest so long that that goes away. And I'm pretty sure I've talked long enough here that by the time I get everything on, it'll be time to go. So there you go. These are the Spud Ink knee sleeves. These are my favorite knee sleeves. I have also I've got some SBD knee sleeves, but I don't use those unless I'm getting ready for competition, because while the Spud Ink sleeves are great because of these handles right here, so I don't have to have suit slippers to pull my sleeves up. They're not legal in every federation. And so I have to use the SBDs if I compete in certain federations. So you gotta, so basically I keep them around so I can practice with them if I know I'm going to be in a federation that doesn't allow the Spud Inks. All right. Bust out the Iron Bull Strength belt. This belt is another way I'm marking my progress, because when I got it, I only had it for like a week, and then I had to take it in a notch, and it started to get loose again, which basically means my waist is getting smaller, and I haven't even started doing abdominal vacuums yet. That's gonna start during the deload week, which is next week. Not only are those good for tightening your waist, but it's also good for helping to prevent hernias. All right, so again, we're doing a single here. If it feels like a double, I'm still gonna rack the weight and I'll load the weight. I'll throw 4 or 5 on. If it doesn't, then I'll just stay with the original plan and rack it and go to walkouts, go in the bar for walkouts. All right, all I want is one. That moved a little too slow for me, so I'm just gonna go to the walkouts next. Like I said, I mean, it may look fast on camera, but to me it didn't move fast enough, and there's plenty of time. So, as I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I'm not trying to squat huge amounts today. I'm setting myself up for a specific number next year. I'd like to do it at Home Gym Con, but I'm still setting that up. So if we can get that deal worked out, like if we get, not deal, but if we can get it worked out, I can honor my responsibilities at Home Gym Con, but still do this, then I'll tell y'all more about it during an episode of Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. All right, so go ahead, strip this, load it up for walkouts, and continue on the rest of the workout. That's it. So let's go. So I felt a lot better about that. Another easy cardio session on Thursday, and we actually got in case you, if you are a channel member, you probably already saw this, but we got the Spedience Velonix. That's their indoor cycling bike. I don't want to say spin because spin is a trademark term, but it's that basic idea. And my wife had been really looking forward to it, so I was headed to bed and because I had my show Friday morning, and ended up staying up a little bit later than I planned because that thing came in and I helped her put it together. So if you're a channel member and you haven't seen it, the link to watch it is going over my head right now. If you're not a channel member, you're missing out. We got a lot of cool stuff on there, and it's only 99 cents a month. So for basically $12, less than $12 a year, you get access to all of the content early, plus you get access to content nobody else sees. So if you're interested, the link to do that is in the video description. Okay, but anyway, so then Friday morning, get up, 3 o'clock in the morning, just randomly, because I'm supposed to wake up at 4 to start doing show prep, but I woke up at 3 for some reason. So I was like, all right, started boiling eggs. Of course, I got distracted, burnt the eggs. So my wife woke up, she's like, why is the smoke alarm going off? I was like, what are you talking about? But just don't tell her what happened, okay? But anyway, so I did the show, and Friday is the day I'm supposed to press, right? An overhead press is one of my favorite accessory movements for the bench, which is one of the key lifts I'm trying to improve. But I do have some numbers I want to hit in overhead press as well. So here's the fly in the ointment is, while doing my show, I got a message from my dad saying he was going to the emergency room and I need to get in touch with him. It's like, what? So I messaged my wife. I said, hey, we live, just so you understand, 4 hours away from my dad and my stepmom. So if he needed me there, so basically if he needs me there at 6 a.m., he's got to reach out to me before 2 a.m., okay? So I'm texting my wife because I knew she was out doing cardio, and I said, hey, I'm doing the show. I need you to check in with Daddy and just see what's going on. And I knew if she says, hey, end the show right now, she would message me back, let me know if I needed to end the show. She didn't, she just texted me back and said, after the show is over, we need to go up there. I said, okay, no problem. So show ends, I go to her and say what the deal is. She said, we got about an hour, and then she had to finish up some stuff that she was doing for work. She said, and then we're gonna have to leave. I said, okay. So now I know it's important, but it's not like an emergency. I was like, all right, well, let me try to salvage the weekend. So I went ahead and I did overhead press, and I was actually pretty pleased because my max overhead press is 205 so far, and that's with a normal 29 millimeter bar. And instead, I was able to press up to 185, which is the most I've ever done with the Garage Gorilla bar, which is a 2-inch diameter knurled axle bar, true 45-pound bar. Check that out. Okay, most I've ever done in this is 205, and that was with a regular power bar. This is a 45-pound knurled axle bar. This is the Garage Gorilla bar from Gorilla Strength Equipment. It's the bar that I collaborated with him on, and this bar makes any kind of pressing movement a lot harder. I mean, it makes pulling movements harder too because it's a 2-inch bar, but I use it. Somebody asked me why on the workout from, I did a YouTube short of the bench workout from Monday, and they said and they asked me why I wasn't pressing with this bar. And the answer is I do, but not on my bench press day. Instead, I press with this bar on my secondary day. First, I use it for overhead press, and then if I have the energy, I'll use it for close grip bench. A few sets of close grip bench, so maybe 3 sets or something, right? 3 sets of 8, maybe 3 sets of 10, just depends on how I feel. Just to kind of finish the triceps off going into the weekend. Anyway, so I just did a fairly easy set of 169 with no belt, no wrist wraps. And so this is my last set, and I'm going into a deload week. So I just want to kind of see if I can get 185, which is what I have loaded on here. So just 1 rep, see if I'm there or if I'm not. We'll find out. If I'm not, no big deal, because I'm kind of just trying to gauge it. But I ain't gonna talk myself out of doing it. You don't talk yourself out of your blessing. Let's go. That felt really good. In fact, I pushed so hard, I don't know if y'all saw, but I pushed myself off balance. So I ended up going backward and had to take a step back. So as fast as that felt like it was moving, I'm probably almost back, if not already back, to 205. And that's a lot, because like I said, I've never done 205 pounds with this bar, but we're steadily coming along. Why that matters to me when I don't compete in strongman or Olympic lifting is your delts are the muscle group that gets the bar off your chest in the bench press. So there is actually tremendous carryover from the beginning of an overhead press. And then your triceps are the muscle that govern your lockout in the bench press, which, and they get worked really hard. I can get this off. They get worked really hard in the overhead press from probably as soon as you get it past here, it starts to be tricep. Right about here. Starts to be tricep all the way to lockout. So the overhead press is an excellent movement for developing all ranges of the bench press, and it's also a big basic movement. I also like it because standing press develops core strength. Especially if you do it beltless. So most of the time I do it with no belt on because I'm trying to develop my core. And while that doesn't carry over directly to the bench press, it does benefit me in other lifts. And so like the squat and the deadlift. So again, I just think the standing overhead press is one of the ultimate powerlifting accessory movements. I also like the Z press, which is where you sit down on the ground, no back support and just press, but I've been trying to hammer this hard because my goal in this is 225, standing press. So we'll see if we get there. Anyway, we gotta get on the road, so I'll let y'all later. All right, so that's done, and I reached out to some people, said, hey, we tried to make some arrangements, see if potentially we could train while visiting my dad in Nashville, up there helping him out. That wasn't meant to be just, the focus was on taking care of that situation. So we couldn't train, but I was able to make a special delivery to my guy, Rory Ellis from Roman Strength. All right. So welcome to Roman Strength. Welcome to Roman Strength. This is where my guy Rory Ellis gets huge and swole. And I am here because I am delivering to him these Eleiko Oppen collars. So I love this place. This is a dope setup. Put these right here because I promised Rory I'd let him play with these for a little bit, get some feedback from him. So you guys make sure you're following at Rory Ellis Music and at Roman Strength on Instagram, because the next workout you guys see him do might be with these collars. All right, Rory, hope you enjoy training with these, man. And the next time I come to your dope spot, it's gonna be to catch a workout. See ya. So we tried to do some cardio while up there, but it was very limited. Pretty much limited to walking around and, you know, whatnot. So got about maybe 5,000 steps each day. I think we got 6,000 steps on Saturday, but not continuous, just, you know, running errands and stuff for my parents, for my dad, my stepmom. Taking care of them, you know? Then we drove home this morning, got home, and that's a lot of time on the road. And one of the things I learned a long time ago, I watched Mike Teixeira. He drove to see Mark Bell and tweaked his back. And Mike Teixeira is a very experienced lifter, knowledgeable coach. But he tweaked his back because he went a little too heavy. He was tight. He went heavier than his body could handle based upon having been in the car so much. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be careful, because my back was tight. So I spent the day doing mostly mobility work. And then I said, all I'm gonna do is deadlift, and we're not gonna kill it. So I got my victories where I could. So first thing is, I got 294.5 for 3 reps, double overhand in the deadlift with no chalk. I don't think I've ever done that much double overhand without chalk. I've done it double overhand, but never that much without chalk. So that was due. So I was really happy about that. I've been working my grip strength. I've been using a lot of straps, but I'm working back into ditching the straps because you can't use them in powerlifting meets. So I hook gripped 417 for a triple. So that was real cool. I did use chalk for that. And then I just called it a day. I did 466 for 1, and I called it a day, because you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. All right. You get in, you get out without getting hurt. I did start the session. I said I did mobility, but I did start the session with a mile on the treadmill. And then after the deadlifts, I got back on the treadmill, which is where I am now. And I got to watch my Washington Commanders defeat the New York Giants. So we are 1-0 for the season, baby. So that's a good win. So I've already hit 10,000 steps today. I'm gonna try to hit another 5 to 10,000 steps maybe tonight. Definitely another 5,000 steps tonight, because as I said, I gotta weigh in tomorrow, and I'm hoping to be 228 or less. And so my activity level was lower over the weekend because we were focusing on taking care of my dad and taking care of my stepmom. You know, just taking care of them, along with my brothers and my sister. So that was the focus, and yeah, we got that done. So that's pretty much what I did. In case you wondering, as far as this vlog goes, I'm tailoring it so I basically show you guys my workouts, but I want you to understand what I'm doing and how I'm getting to where I go. So as you see me getting better and better shape, you understand what I'm doing. Because I also do YouTube shorts from my workouts. So if you see a YouTube short, this kind of explains what my thought process was in the YouTube short, because the YouTube shorts are without context. If you guys have any questions about my training, especially training over 50, lifting heavy over 50, I'm 52 years old. Feel free to drop those in the comments. And yeah, trying to not be normal. Something I never want to be It's something called a NARP. I heard about it a while back. It's a few years ago. NARP, like Paul. NARP, NARP. Stands for non-athletic regular person. And the older I get, the more NARPs I see. And I'm trying not to be one of them, because the normal people are the ones who die first in a crisis. So I want to live an extraordinary life, enjoy my life with my wife, enjoy our life together with our grandkids and our kids for many, many years to come. Enjoy life. Don't just be alive and on medication. Okay? So I'm gonna finish this out. About 57 minutes in. I'll probably do another 3 minutes, hit the hour mark, and be done with it. But really appreciate you guys, all the support you're giving me. You guys see that as of right now, we're just shy of 60,000 subscribers. So please spread the word about this channel. Garage Gym Life isn't just about product reviews. It's about garage gym life. It's called Garage Gym Life because we have a garage gym, but it's about our life as home gym owners, the things that we find that are helping us. So my wife has a vlog, I have a vlog. Her vlog is Rebirth of the Phoenix, because she's getting back in shape to do triathlons. I'm getting back in shape, hoping to return to the powerlifting platform. And along the way, we check out the equipment that's helping us achieve our goals. Plus we get to interview the people who make our equipment and some influential people and coaches, athletes, whatever, across the home gym community on my show, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. So I guess that's our channel in a nutshell. And yeah, see you guys next week. And I'll let you know if I weigh in at 228 or below. That's the victory. That's what we're going for. All right?